the Asian thought process is first let's give the good news, and and there is a tendency to hide the bad news.
Yeah.
Whereas what I learned in over there is that whether it's a good news, bad news, both are equal. Discuss it out, figure it out, tackle it out.
Yeah.
And
you're giving environment of US culture and everything. And you want him to respect Indian culture, be like Indian culture. That won't happen.
if you stay in America, you will face American problems. And if you stay in India, you will face Indian problems. Now, which problems are you comfortable in facing and which problems are you comfortable in tackling?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Desi Return. Today, I'm excited to have Vipul and Sreelatha on our show. They spent close to 13 years in US before deciding to move back to India. They have been living in India for close to 3 years, and especially they moved during the COVID times. And I'm really looking forward to the discussion in terms of their life in US, what made them to move to India, how was the life in India after the move, and how they planned for the move. With that, welcome Vipul and Sreelatha to the show.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Avinash. Thank you. Thank you for
Great.
allowing us to share our back to India story.
Great. Yeah.
Mm.
So Vipul and Sreelatha, if you can start with a bit of a background, your education, professional background, what made you to move to US, and how was the life there, and what was the thought process behind moving back to India? I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah. So I did my engineering in Pune, and then after that I worked for a few companies. So one of the companies sent me over there to work as a consultant. So that's how the journey started to United States. And I worked in Santa Clara, California, for all these 13 years. And United States has very excellent professional career opportunities. So that attracted me, and I continued over there. Um, and then she joined me after marriage, and we both were there in Santa Clara, and I mean, we like that place. We like to stay in United States. It was a very good community that we had over there, friends and outer, the other communities also there in India. Sorry, the Indian communities over there. So we were liking over there. It was not very like homesick or something. We didn't feel like that.
So California, Santa Clara, San Jose, it's all full Indian community. And California weather is also not harsh like, Pennsylvania or some other snow falling places.
Yeah.
So it was more of like Indian kind of weather. And I really liked all my friends. And I got married to a NRI, as you said. And I went there. Initially, I felt very out of place and all because I was very introvert, and then and I was housewife, so I felt like staying when he went to office, staying whole day in the home alone. So feeling very depressed. But later I thought like I have to reach out to the people around, and I found like in our apartment building about 60 to 70% are Indians, and they do Lalita Sahasranam, they do all that things every Friday, and we do for Bhagavad Gita classes and parenting classes. So felt very good. Okay, then I started becoming social, talking to my friends, girls, ladies, and all. So, and we had cooking classes. We had children programs like um, going to some parks and cherry picking, all such things. So slowly, like within few months or something, I felt like the place is made for me. It was so I got so acquainted, and there was a ISKCON temple there, so I get connected to the temple and sevas. So I felt really good there. And actually, at the time of marriage, he said like 2 years we'll go back,
Yeah.
but it didn't happen. It started growing, and I ended up staying for 10 years. And in fourth year, we added my son to the family. So, of course, after my son was born, we were very positive that we have to go back to India. Uh, but we took time, like not immediately after getting him. So we thought like 3 to 4 or 5 years down the line, let him have preschool here. And then when he goes to the first grade, we'll join him in the Indian school. So that was the plan actually. So
Got it.
our thought of returning to India became very strong after my son was born.
Yeah, I mean, it was never a plan to settle there. Back of our mind, we knew that we had to return to India. It was only matter of time. When is the good opportunity? When is the good time? And then seeing our son growing and thinking that he would start his education in India. So that was the right time, and I had to look out for a good opportunity also.
Yeah.
So it took some time for both the things to come together, good opportunity to come together, and that's the time we decided to return to India.
No, thanks a lot for such a nice overview. Sounds like I think you had a good time, good friend circle. I think
Yeah.
you enjoyed the time in US. It's mainly the idea that you want to have your kid education starting in India. I think that's the main driving factor, and that's the timing. So with that, let's talk a little bit about the planning, right? I think you kind of mentioning a little bit on that, just trying to make sure that you have a good opportunity and then timing that and then have the kid going to the school. So for how long have you started the planning? If you take that
Yeah.
Towards the few months or years backwards, when was the planning started? And maybe you can touch a little bit about your career planning or any other aspects. I think that would be very helpful.
So I think the whole thing was driven by my job. To have a good opportunity job in India was very high priority for me.
Yeah.
And so I would say it was back in my mind, and I was always looking for opportunities. And I actively started looking once, within my same company as an internal transfer to India.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out in few factors. So, and then COVID struck. So when COVID struck, I felt like let's delay the plan, and I didn't knew that it would go for a year or so. So it got delayed for a year, and then then things were starting opening up slowly. So at that point, I started applying in India, uh, uh, applying to jobs in India, and some companies approached me. I gave 2, 3 interviews, but still it took one more year to get the job that I wanted, the next level job that I was looking for, the good opportunity that I was looking for. It took still 1 year. So once I got it, COVID was still going on. There were lockdowns and all that. But because I changed companies, I had to move. I was I didn't have the option of delaying it. I had to move, and I just moved that time. Then when COVID lockdown was there in here in India, I just moved that.
Like in India and in US also, it was a peak of COVID. Like May 2021, you must be remembering that second wave of COVID was going on, and we came at the peak of COVID. So actually, what happened is like when my son turned 5th birthday, 2020 Jan 5th, his birthday. So in 2020 January, we said everyone that we are going. Our plan was like at least first I will come back with son stay here in Pune and look for his schooling so that he get adjusted to schooling for 1 year.
Yeah.
We wanted to put him in upper KG, UKG only, so that when he goes to first grade, he get adjusted well.
Yeah.
So that was a plan, and on his birthday, I said, like, all my friends, there's a big circle of women, like 20 to 25 ladies and families and all. On his birthday, it was grand, like his birthday, and we said that this is the last day, a last party we are making. We are going to India. So in 2 months, 2 to 3 months, because schools here start in May, right? So
Yeah.
at least March, April, we had to go. So we were planning March 2020 to come here, but exactly at that time, COVID started.
COVID, yeah.
Lockdown started. So like in May 2020, actually we took admission and we had a talk with schools and all, but because of COVID, it was very new, so we just have to postpone. And then everyone calling us like during the lockdown only, have you gone or something? Have you gone through? I said, no, how can we go? It's COVID and all. So it was all going, and again his internet transfer was cancelled because of COVID. The wing was so we continued like that with uncertain future, what to do, and all of a sudden his opportunity came in March 2021, and there was till that time at least they were not locked down, and little bit first wave was gone actually.
Yeah.
And in US actually I can relate, like in US what lockdown, what strategies was there and what Indian strategies were completely different. In US everything was open, only the mask was there, but here it was strict lockdown, like
Yeah.
very very strict. So we didn't have that view, like what is India going through. Then everyone was saying, like when he got opportunity, he told me, don't tell anyone because everyone will be shocked. They will either stop us, either frighten us, or
So the thing was, that COVID, if we meet, then COVID would spread. That was the greatest fear we had.
Yes.
So that's why we didn't want any farewell party or to be set up, and we didn't want to meet with friends. That was the highest thing in our mind. So as I said, I had no option to delay it. So we had to make that move. So in that case, only I just had, two friends told that, I'm moving. That also in the last week.
Yeah. So if I may ask, especially I think, regarding the career planning side, right? I have one follow-up question that I want to check because
Sure,
it's a
yeah.
common question among people who are thinking about moving back to India. So you mentioned that you have started applying from US itself. Like,
Yeah.
how was that? How was the response? Did you have any tweaks? Like, do you have like a Indian phone number or any other advice that you can give? Because people communicate that, hey, I've been
Yeah.
applying, but I'm not getting any responses. So any tips or tricks that you can give, any insights that you can provide on how they should approach it?
Yeah. See, for me, what worked was LinkedIn. Through LinkedIn, when I contacted the HRs, the recruiters, some of them were interested. And the other was through friends. So through friends who are working here in India, um, I had sent my resume, and they would forward to their manager, hiring recruiter. And then the thing is that each company has to think whether to hire a person from outside of India or not.
Yes.
Not every company will agree for that or will have the uh, what to say, the ability to do that, because they may prefer local candidate. If they want to hire someone from outside, then they have to pay for their air tickets, their transport, the luggage, everything. Logistics also need to be taken care. Whereas for a local person, they don't have to spend that much.
Sure.
So not every company will do this. That's the challenge.
Okay.
That's a challenge. But yeah, I mean, if you are in some um, core business kind of, or core companies, then there are some opportunities like in VLSI, in very core software jobs. Then there are some opportunities. So yeah, I'm in one of them. So LinkedIn and through friends worked out.
I
And
think the
then
big
one,
mantra there is the networking, reaching out to your old friends and
yeah,
the
yes,
hiring
yeah,
managers.
that always helps. That always
Got it.
helps.
Is there
Yeah.
anything that you can talk about from a planning perspective? I mean, so let's
During this.
talk a little bit about the transition. So the timing of move was during the COVID.
COVID.
And
Yeah,
I know
peak
we
of
kind
COVID,
of talked
yes.
about the journey, from US to India, like, some of the interesting aspects of that, the only flight on the day and the number of passengers and all that stuff. So how was the initial transition period after coming to India? Because I'm guessing everything is locked down. You are in a new
Yeah, yeah.
city, and how were things in the transition period?
So my company had provided a place to stay
Yeah.
for a month.
Guest house.
Yeah, for a guest house, and I had booked a travel agent, to pick us up and drop us to that location. So that
And
day it was complete lockdown in
yeah,
Bangalore.
beforehand I
So
have given the list of groceries which we need because there were no one because generally like if we move in normal times also we move to our parents' house or
Yes.
so
yeah,
that their setting is there.
so
Now there is no
we
setting.
moved to a completely new city where no relative is there, no friend is there.
So yeah, then we got down in Bangalore airport and there is it's all deserted, completely deserted. We were only few people, 63 people were coming out and external nothing, no car, nothing.
Yeah.
And
So so when we reached the guest house person, we had already told him, we need this list of grocery. So one good thing that we saw in India, this today's India, is that everything is online.
online,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So all the
Blinkit.
ordering, everything was online, and just the person comes with huge bags and he just gives it to us.
So yeah, that
You
was
pay
very
also online, so no cash issue and all that. Within few days, I could get the new SIM card, and once you get the phone, you can just link it to your bank, and the UPI starts. Once UPI starts, then
Everything.
I think it becomes easy. But
Yeah.
yeah, at that point, there was complete lockdown in Bangalore. So
Yeah.
1 month we were in our flat only. Only few times we came out of
we were
our.
in quarantine actually. We
Yeah.
have to
Yeah, we had to quarantine.
Yeah.
So basically, everyone was quarantined because there was complete lockdown.
Yeah.
was very strict. And my son, he had I mean, we all had jet lag. And what he used to do is morning full sleeping and night 2 o'clock he used to get up and what to do because his toys were not there, no
Yeah.
books was not there, nothing was there. So we started playing hide and seek. So so like we used to hide here and there in that apartment. Somehow we have to pass our time. So when he was there in balcony and all, we were playing, and then suddenly ambulance sound will come, tee 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 tee, and he used to go run back and go, "Mummy, coronavirus has come." Coronavirus.
Hmm.
So it was very pathetic with hyperactive kid of 6 years in that quarantine, and it was not that harsh in US. Actually, in US, people used to go out and play, and there was
Yeah, it was.
it was not that.
It was lot of free there.
But here
It was
India,
complete
it was
lockdown.
complete lockdown.
And that also it went for 2 months.
2 months actually.
Yeah. It
And
went for
especially, I
2
think the
months.
second wave hit so bad in
So
India,
bad in
Yeah.
India.
and the
And it
density
hit
is
bad
so big.
in Bangalore, right? There were news of
Yeah.
hospitals not having beds in
So
Bangalore.
people were really scared. Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of the worry that we had when we were moving. But once we came to the airport, no person out there. We came to our guest house,
Yeah.
and we just stayed there for 2 months. Everything online, ordering things would come to us. So that's how those 3 months went.
Got it.
And then after that, we found another house to move in.
Yeah. So think that time, what happened? It was uh, Bangalore was fully empty, and we search out for rented house.
Yes.
So people were ready to give us for any rate actually.
Yeah.
So fully furnished house we got from for very less rate actually. We
Yeah.
thought of getting fully furnished because we didn't have everything we can't do online, right? Beds and all. So we went for fully furnished and we could get in just 25,000. And that was a big house and people were behind us actually when we sold no broker or rented things. They were around, please come. Our house is empty. No one was there because everyone went to their hometown.
Yes.
Who will pay the rent? So it was like it was a lot of choice.
Yeah.
But just in 1 year, when the COVID gone, the rate of the
Rentals.
price of it became double and triple actually.
Yeah. For sure.
So there was no house left actually for us, finding the next house, moving because 25 it became 50,000 per month.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, we will search out other house. That was also not available.
Yeah.
So it was like fully opposite. That also was a different experience actually to find out houses.
Yeah.
Until that time, no one came to meet. Our families were in Pune and Hyderabad. We said, no coming to us. Uh, Already lockdown was there, COVID
Correct.
was there.
Yeah.
So-
The risk was always there.
So
Yeah.
we both and son, that's it.
Yeah.
Somehow we got navigated, finding the house, settling down. It was a very big challenge. Actually, this shouldn't be done for normal people. If we were to come in normal times, it would not be like that. But definitely our time was very challenging.
But I'm sure, I mean, I think those are not normal times, and it's definitely interesting, and the challenges that you have to go through to come to a new place where you don't have friends, family, and adjusting there and going through that. I think I can understand, what you have to go through
Yeah.
make that happen. So, how is the life in India? It's been 3 years, and there is such a motivation to move back, for the kids. How is the life here? And how is your son doing with the education? Is that what you expected? So just curious on that part.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, from the very first day, we are very happy to be in India. The transition was very good. I mean, we felt at home moment from the very first day. Um, uh, so because it was always in our mind that we had to return to India, so that happened, and we were happy.
So my son actually starting, it was a culture shock for him. And his schooling was online only. Like one year online he did in US. 1 year here he did online. So online school he got used to.
Yeah.
And yeah, but later like after October 2021 we had that park and there was like less they were opening up and all. So he got, I should not say adjusted, whether he got adjusted, but what, with people socializing, children, it was very challenging for him. So he has picked up American accent. He used to go to preschool and all. Still, he speaks American accent English. So for him, languages was very difficult. And here, a lot of them speak Kannada. And even though they speak English, kids they don't understand this American English and all. So there was bullying for him. He was not accepted in the children. He was seeing something out of place. So all the challenges was there. And 2022 May, he started going to school in person. So that 1 year also was challenging for him because he couldn't. And we put first we thought he should go for CBSE.
Yeah.
It was the first grade. So we enrolled him in Delhi Public School, CBSE school, and. We sought for 1 year. So the teacher herself said he is very fast in speaking English. He's not gelling up with the classmates, and he.
So
we
he
had to change
needs some different environment where he can grow at his pace. So she suggested certain schools, and they follow Cambridge IGCSE curriculum, and that has worked out from last
in
1.5
2022,
years.
2022
Yeah.
June, we shifted his school to IGCSE Cambridge, and there actually most of them, because it is international school, most of them have this European accent or American accent, and they can understand. Moreover, he has grown up, he has gelled a little bit. So now he is doing wonderful in school.
And he has picked up other languages also.
Yeah, he has picked up.
And
Hindi.
we made him go to a tutor to learn Hindi, and at home Marathi. That is which is our mother tongue. So he has picked up slowly, and he's doing good. He's doing really good. Like his progress is appreciated by his teachers also.
No, this is very
So-
interesting experience. Since I was
Hmm.
thinking he's just such a young kid, especially joining the Indian education system when he's in the UKG or upper kindergarten and in the first grade, I would expect that they can gel well with any education system, right? I mean, this is also
Yes,
another
yes.
common question or concern that the families have. Hey, which curriculum that I need to select for my kid? So this is an interesting perspective, and good to know, like in terms of the things that your son has to go through and where he thrived. I mean, I know each kid is different, but you have to
Yes.
choose like depending on which kid.
Yes,
But
actually,
thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
This is fact. The more the child grows in US, the more he
will find it difficult.
to adjust.
Yes.
Academically, also, if he excels, get some tutors in the US. But coming here and gelling up in the school environment with the Indian kids.
Yeah.
And getting that used to that setting, the teacher, the students, everything, social part of thing. So that becomes very difficult if child grows in US. So better get the child when he is young, and
when they are just starting the education. And even if, let's say, you bring them 1 or 2 years late, then you can still bring them up. Then you can still ramp them up by sending them to tutors for languages. The Indian languages like Hindi, and the local language like Kannada or Telugu, wherever. If we send them to tutors, then they will pick up, and we will see them. We'll see a change within like 6 to 8 months. And the worry that parent may have, will reduce a lot.
Yes. So the thing is that if at all even the local languages are not in the curriculum of school, I suggest that they should send tutor for the local languages also, so that children get social exposure. They can talk in the local language to the classmates. They can talk. So, like you remember in ours when we were little in our schooling, we never use English for conversing with our classmates. We used to use local language, right? So only after 9, 10, 11 we used to use. Same like here also Indian kids, they use their mother tongue here. Okay, or local languages to converse. So then that is best that, even our child learns that language. And always learning a language for kid is very, very important, very good for his future, because languages are something, especially I can speak 5 languages. So at least 3 languages.
Being multilingual, right, helps in the development of child, his personality, his or her personality. And
that's what I thought
it is lacking people.
In US, it is lacking. Children always speak English, nothing else.
So in California, at least there was Spanish there.
Spanish there. Yeah, but children just speak.
But English. I think India has many more languages. Minimum, three languages every person speaks. So that is really good thing about India, to be multilinguistic.
So glad to know that I think the kid is doing well. I think you have to change the environment. I think it's good that the teacher understood and kind of made some recommendations, and it helped. So that's fantastic. So Vipul, if we can talk a little bit about your work experience. And I think you mentioned you have worked for a few years in India before going to US, and you have been working in US for almost 13 years before coming back and working here for another 3 years. How has the work-life balance or work culture changes, right? Before moving to US and now? That's one question. And in general, anything that you can talk about, some of the things that you can share from your journey what would you suggest, or anything that people have to watch out or be aware of and plan accordingly?
Yeah, that is good, that you have asked. So, working in United States is a different culture over there. It's a very open culture, a culture where there are hierarchies, but still, you can talk on the same level with people, and uh, and over there, it's a bold kind of culture where you can openly talk about your strengths, weaknesses, success, failures, and people won't look down at you. So that's the American culture. And in India, or let's say in Asia, if when you come back, you will see a mix of the two. You will see a mix of American culture because you're dealing with American clients, you're dealing with European clients, you're dealing with the same management from there to here. So that culture is there. Okay, but it has the Indianness, it has the Asianness, the work culture here. It has that Asianness over here, and I would say um, in professional life, um, it's better to be open, to be straightforward, and to be bold. And that part, if you don't see it in your Asian culture, you better bring it, because that always helps in the professional career. So that's the good part of in that I learned in America, and I see that in India, a lot of companies have that. They are trying to get that culture. They have that culture, but again, there is some set of Asian culture also within it.
Sure.
Yeah. So in that, what I found was that here, in professional, if there is some bad news, if there is some bad news to be given, the Asian thought process is, first let's give the good news, and and there is a tendency to hide the bad news.
Yeah.
Whereas what I learned in over there is that, whether it's a good news, bad news, both are equal. Discuss it out, figure it out, tackle it out.
Yep.
And so that is one thing that you will see, anyone will see when they come back here, that they have to deal with that kind of situation. But think from the best view: what is best for the professional, what is best for the team, what is best for the career, what is best for the work, what is best for the project, and make that decision. When
Got
you do that, that will always help. So, that is one thing I would like to say. And then second thing is, you appreciate however people work here. There will be always pros and cons. When you work in United States, there's always pros and cons for how do you work with the people over there.
Yep.
And here also. So make a best. Uh, I would say go for the best things here, and and do your job nicely.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thanks for sharing that. I'm just being mindful of the time. So, is there any advice or suggestion that you would give to the families who are considering about moving back to India?
Yeah, so thing is that I have experience, like, many of my friends who have kids same like my age and all, they all consider to go to India, but they don't have that, what do you say, guts or, strength. So I suggest them that you sit, what we did, I will tell, I don't know what they will do. But what we did is, I, my husband, and my son, even though he was very little, we sat together and discussed that we are going. So, what are the pros and what are the cons? So, okay, these all things we have to do. So, you have to accept something which come along with it.
Yeah.
So, what I feel is many Indians in US, they have that feeling that we should go back to India, but they don't discuss, they don't sit together, and they don't make the list and they don't, okay, so just like in somewhere is saying, like, what are the cons when we go to India? Okay, the roads are bad. Okay, so does that anything personally affect us? No. Right. Okay, the areas are filthy. So does that really affect us? Okay, there's some
So
politics everywhere. Right. So is that really affecting us? No. So what is important? My son's education is important. Our family bonding is important. So when we consider this, we discuss, yes, that is important. Is that affecting in US? Yes. If it is affecting in US, time to come back. So I will tell one thing frankly, those who go there are very good. When they get child and the child is growing, every parents in US have this concern. How my child's future is there? Will they forget Indian culture? Will they forget our relatives? That concern is there for everyone. So I say, sit and have discussion about the child's best thing. So that is your family. First, think of your family and decide. I'm not telling come to India or be in US. No, you have to figure out yourself because nothing fits for everyone same. So I say that you, your husband, kids, maybe whatever age they are, sit and discuss. See, this is our plan. We are going to India. This spot we are going, and this is how it may look. So we have this much time for transition. After that, what are the pros and cons? Just sit and discuss. Take some time, 2 hours, and sit and discuss. So believe me, when you sit and discuss, there will be many things coming out, and you may get strength to decide. Yes, staying here is good or going to India is good. So there are two things like input and output. So once you put input, there is some output, right? So you are thinking that input, I'm staying in US, I will stay in US and child should have Indian culture. That doesn't happen. You're giving environment of US culture and everything. And you want him to respect Indian culture, be like Indian culture. That won't happen. If you give input, that output won't come. So either you bring him to India, give Indian culture, then the output will be Indian culture. And if you give US culture, output is US culture, accept this.
Yeah.
Accept it, okay. Finally, my son will become like a US person or, totally US Americanized. So that thing, people there, they have this. That's what I wanted to suggest from this platform to all our friends who are in US. If you are giving US environment, be prepared that your child will become American culture. I'm not telling Indian culture is good or American culture. Culture is culture. Culture is there, whatever is there, culture is there. Both are at their own places. But the dilemma is that they think that we are Indians, our children should get Indianized, but in America, which doesn't happen. Practicality wise, you discuss with your family. So if we give this input, the output will be like this. But if output is that and you cannot do, just accept it wholeheartedly. That yes, this is what is. So they struggle that they want this, but they don't accept the output.
So I will give how this thought process went through me. So I discussed with few of my friends, those who were senior to my age and those who have settled in United States, and they have kids in their teenagers and now they are adults. So one of my friend, he gave me a very nice statement. He said, "See, if you stay in America, you will face American problems, and if you stay in India, you will face Indian problems. Now, which problems are you comfortable in facing, and which problems are you comfortable in tackling, and you are happy in tackling?
Yeah.
And if you come to that answer, then you know where you're." So in my case, back of my mind, I always wanted to be in India. So I said I would better face Indian problems. So that's how I thought that yes, going to India helps. Uh, and then another thing that she said about culture, yes, of course, there's a different culture over there, and then you have to accept your child to be in that culture and all. You can always give Indian culture over there, okay, but you will always see there will
But
be a
end of
mix of American culture and
yeah,
Indian.
actually there are many
And
facilities there to give Indian culture, Indian drama, everything is there. But end of the time, when I see that kids are growing up in that, they get more of confused, Indian also and American also. And finally, because they had to settle there, they will finally accept American. See, when the child is small, we can make him do Bharatanatyam, go to the Telugu classes, this classes. But after some time, like when they are 20, 25, 30, they get used to that, that doesn't make much difference. That's what I mean.
Sure.
So staying in Indian environment and having this culture around everyone doing, we don't have to send special classes for that, special things for that. It comes like, natural here. So that child, you see that child is very different from the child who was externally given that cultural thing in US. So I appreciate there is Tana, there are so many cultural things there. They are doing their
so
best.
one
But
thing,
after all, it doesn't make much difference after the child get used to, especially marrying American, Chinese, Japanese. Indian children are doing that, you know.
Sure.
So how can you stop that?
I mean, again, as you rightly said, right?
Yeah,
Accept and what is
accept. Yes,
more important to you, and
yeah,
go with it. I think the thing that you're mentioning is more on the environment, which means the probability of someone growing to certain,
yes,
which is more important to you. I think that's the
yes,
bottom line,
yeah,
right?
I mean, I did find some friends, for them, this culture thing was not so important. For them,
Yes.
other things were important.
Yeah.
Like one of my friend, within short time, he could buy 4 properties, and now he's a CEO of a startup.
Yeah.
So for him, right, moving to India was never in his mind, because things are working for him, and he's growing in his professional life, and of
yeah,
course he has his family over there,
yeah. And kids also,
and
he has
kids.
grown up like Americans only. So he said,
Well, I
okay,
mean, they will grow up Americans. That's no doubt in it. And the thing is, when you stay this far from, thousands of kilometers far from your family and native country, you can't meet them every now and then. It will be once in 2 years, once in 3 years. So over a period of time, they may not have the connection with
Yeah.
India, and that is something, many of them have accepted that, and they're living with it now.
Yeah.
They have their own pros and cons, like I said, regarding my friend. So that is another consideration, that how is that particular place treating you.
Sure.
Are you growing in your professional life and in your personal life also, right? So depending on that, people make decision. In my case, I feel the personal life that I wanted to be more in India, whereas for the professional, I would say that I'm doing the same work I did in United States. I'm doing the same work. There's no difference. So on the professional front, I would say I'm not losing a lot.
Sure.
Not losing a lot. Yeah, but those who want to do something like research or something very new idea and all that, then definitely United States is the best place to be.
Yeah.
after coming to India, I felt new perspective of career. So I'm just telling my friends in US, whoever sees this video, that actually, first of all, I should say them sorry that I couldn't meet them happily well, and it was so sudden, all of a sudden. Hope they will forgive us. And second of all thing, please, if you have any questions about moving to India and astrological aspects also and personal aspect also, you can consult me and my husband. And if at all we can help you in any way, we'll be very happy to help you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, like the points that you have considered while moving back to India. And so really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your journey with us. So have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Avinash, sir, that you have given this platform that we could express our feelings. We are feeling so light today that, we had that guilt that, we left the US, we left. But because of this platform, we could express our feelings, and we're feeling very light and happy that somehow we get connected to this Desi return.
Thank you all for joining us on this insightful journey of Desi Return. If you enjoyed this episode and want to explore more stories and expert advice, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts and experiences. By the way, check out the links in the description below for our Facebook group and social media for updates and engaging discussions, as well as connecting with fellow Desi returners. Thank you once again, and until next time, may your Desi return journey be filled with joy, growth, and endless possibilities.